kind of a
just get out there and start, you know?
Yeah, just kind of one size fit all. If you're getting your heart rate up and just moving, that's kind of all you really need to do. So we kind of approach it a little bit different. We start everybody off with just a initial fitness consultation where they'll meet with the trainer. They'll do just an in-body scan, just a body analysis. So it's a segmented body analysis scan. So basically what it's going to do, it's going to take your left arm, right arm, torso, legs, and it's going to just segment that to where, you know, it's going to keep track of your body fat percentage, your skeletal muscle mass, how hydrated you are, and it's also going to get into just what your visceral fat, so just the fat that's around your organs. So we'll get a lot of guys that, you know, come in, you know, they're not overweight, but they're not active. You know, if you look at their organs with this visceral fat, a lot of times it looks like, you know, they're pretty fit, you know, they're not overweight, but their visceral fat is just through the roof. So that's one of the things that this InBody will show for us.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, so in the wellness way, our motto is we don't guess, we test. And so that's what I liked about what you guys had to offer, was it where a client could come over and get some things tested, like a body composition, or see what's up structurally. So for me as a chiropractor, when it comes to exercise, you know, seeing where a body is functionally, structurally, posturally, I know that has a massive influence on the ultimate performance when somebody goes to exercise. And so the title for today being, is exercise enough to get you where you need to be? What might be missing? Well, I think, you know, not only testing your composition, which can be done with InBody, can be done with blood work to look at inflammation markers, but also structurally, you know, what do your hips, your pelvis, what do your shoulders look like? You know, that's a big part of our evaluation, is what's the posture like, and what you guys have seen, you know, if you've got an imbalance in your hips, say leg length, shoulder, you know, if you just come in and work out, is that going to fix that, or could you possibly make something worse?
Right, exactly, and that's one of the things we do too. Is we'll get you know, the new client, the new member out, and just do a movement screening. So we'll go through 4 or 5 movements and just kind of rate them, you know, 1 through 5. A lot of times, you know, we might need to refer them, you know, to a chiropractor or somebody else if they've just got some serious imbalances. And then from that, we can, you know, start to, you know, create a personalized workout program for them.
Cool.
Yeah, our trainers are certified to make sure that we assess everybody that comes to our office and does our fitness consultations on whether or not they lie in 3 different main areas, which is stabilization, strength, and then power. A lot of people think that they're in that power mode at the very top of that pyramid. When we take them through our fitness consultation and we're able to get their body scan and really analyze their body in muscle mass to fat segmentation, we're able to figure out where they stay, where they lie. If you have someone that comes in and their visceral levels are really high, and they have major imbalances between their left and their right sides, yet they want to, you know, squat and be part of the 800-pound club, we have to be able to take a look at that and say, okay, here's the actual behavioral goals we'll have to set in place in order to get you to where you want to be. And that's first doing that scan and knowing the truth about where you're at. And we're huge proponents about that. It's just knowledge is super key. That's one of the reasons why we are so excited to partner with your team, because of that testing. We want to bring people in, and ironically, when people come through our doors and they sit down, there's been time periods where sometimes they break down or they have these moments of emotion or truth come out, because in order to get to some place that we want our clients to get to based on their goals, we have to assess where they're at. And that's why that body scan and training them and seeing them at that very first consultation on how they move and how dynamic their movement is, that's super important for us.
Yeah, Tyler, you hit on a great key, the personalization. I mean, that's ultimately, I think, what makes what you guys do unique, what makes what we do unique. It's about this personalization to your physiology. You know, I'm not an exercise specialist, but I know movement, and I know what will allow a person to maximize, you know, their performance. And when it comes to inflammation, you guys know, based on our seminars and following our page, we talk a lot about inflammation. And we will keep talking about inflammation until people know it's got to go beyond icing. It's got to go beyond non-steroidal anti-inflammatories. It's got to go to a level of food. You got to look at gut health, you know, stressors mentally, physically. I mean, all of that plays a role in our body's ability to perform and to do it well and repeatable. You know, and what I see a lot is people come, they just exercise, creating inflammation, go home, take non-steroidal anti-inflammatories, maybe ice it down, pop a couple of turmeric here and there and call it good because they feel great the next day. Repeat that, and then all of a sudden 2 months, 3 months down the road, it's like now the shoulder's not working, the hip's not working, or they wake up with a stiff neck and go, this just happened. I'm like, did you have this done before you started? No. Did you know what your level of inflammation was on XYZ? No.
Yeah.
So is it any surprise now you're where you're at 2 months, 3 months into it, but who gets the blame? The trainer or the chiropractor?
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
So.
Yeah. And we'll find out a lot too, you know, people initially come in and think, you know, all right, got the gym membership, you know, first step, you know, check that off, but then they'll just want to do, you know, just a cookie cutter type of workout. Instead of getting something that's a little more personalized for them, or getting, you know, just a little bit of coaching, a little bit of training to make sure that they've got these, you know, some of these compound lifts, you know, just basic exercise, you know, down before getting, you know, too complex. Like you said, you know, working out a lot on their own, doing these workouts, and in the long term, they're, you know, maybe increasing in the weight, but they're really just damaging, you know, your joints and building up more inflammation and everything else before really addressing that and starting, you know, with a plan.
Yeah. And we are very huge proponents of doing our testing and doing the right things to assess where you're at in your fitness journey. But we also are huge proponents of getting active. This isn't to say that we don't believe that you should get active. We definitely think you should walk. We definitely think you should be as active as you can throughout your day, whether you're at work or you're a stay-at-home mom or dad. But I think that what we bring to the table, just like you guys do in the chiropractic field, is that we want to take a look at your personal side, your personal, where you're at specifically with your fitness, so that we can help reach those goals instead of, you know, giving you those generic type of workouts that may not be, you know, right for you.
Yep, definitely agree. Hey, real quick, we always like to take a little time to see who got on here. So Tori, good to see you on here, and Stephanie and Kara, good to see you. It's been a long time. So always appreciate you guys getting on and, you know, not only sharing this stuff, liking it, but, you know, taking notice of the content that's being put out. And so with that, just want to encourage you guys. You guys have kind of done all the planning for this next event. So January 31st at Iron Gate, which I think was formerly Century 21. So their new facility.
Yeah, by Waffle House on Providence.
Yep. So
right in between Stony Creek Inn and Waffle House.
So they're putting together an opportunity for us to share not only with their audience, but even ours, the Wellness Way approach to inflammation. So we want to be able to equip you guys with enough tools to know, you know, okay, we hear inflammation all the time, but really what is it? Where does it come from? What are the ways you can test for it, both, you know, blood-wise, urine-wise, you know, even structurally, there's things that can be done to look at potential areas of inflammation. And so we're really excited to come and share this information with the Anytime Fitness culture. We like the us, we are culture and the Wellness Way world. So can you give us a time? What's the time again?
It'll start at 6 p.m. and you can arrive a little bit early if you would like. We will have a couple vendors outside there as well so that you can get to know some of our other referral partners and our business partners in the community. It's an amazing location. We're super excited to be there.
Yeah, I'm excited to present there and see what else they have to offer there.
Absolutely.
So. All right, well, I think that pretty much covers everything I was wanting to go over in regard to exercise and is it enough and how do you incorporate, you know, the chiropractic, the testing, the fitness. I know, you know, later this week for us, we're going to be hitting up on a couple of just spotlight supplements that deal with inflammation, you know, things that I think pretty much anybody can benefit from, whether they've been tested or not. You know, we're very leery to just make recommendations to anything unless we've got some testing information, but I think there's definitely some go-to supplements that are out there and things people can do, whether they've been tested or not, that are going to help get rid of inflammation in a very healthy way. So we'll be sharing that information later this week. Anything you guys want to close with before we finish up today?
In regards to testing, we just created a new in-body scan presentation for a lot of teams. So if you have a job that's looking for corporate wellness or you own your own business, reach out to us because we have a really great presentation to share with you. And if you don't own a business or you don't have a job, call me or call us because we would give that presentation to you right here in our office. That's kind of how we roll.
Nice. Well, hey, I appreciate you guys letting us come over and do our live video. Again, we love putting the content out for you guys. No excuses, right? I mean,
Absolutely
Columbia's
not.
got access to some pretty amazing facilities and caretakers, if you will, that really care about getting good results for people. So looking forward to the 31st and just getting the message out. So,
Absolutely.
thank you guys again for joining. We'll see you soon.